Well, we're fucked. Nah, I'm just kidding, but wait till the end until you see what I have to say about. Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is going to be a little fun video where I'm going to be talking about a lot in the introduction and getting straight into the charts. So if you guys don't know, there is a man named by the name of Mike Burry who actually predicted the 2008 financial crisis years before it even happened. If you guys don't know what the 2008 financial crisis was, it was basically the complete collapse of the stock market and the housing market that led to millions of people losing their jobs and their homes. Mike Burry, a very professional and experienced Wall Street trader, actually just predicted 3 weeks ago that, and I'm going to probably pop up a news source right here. He actually just predicted about 3 weeks ago, and he put it in a big $1.6 billion short on the collapse of the stock market again, specifically the NASDAQ and the S&P. So first of all, if you guys want to know more about the market crash, there's a huge movie on Netflix right now called The Big Short that really kind of explains everything for all you traders that are interested in what really happened. But he's done it again. He's making another bet right now on the collapse of the stock market. He has a $1.6 billion short on the NASDAQ and the S&P specifically. Now, I have heard rumors as to why he's looking to short these, right? And that's kind of more fundamental analysis, right? But this is a little fun video that I want to do. And I want to see if we can see what Mike Burry sees through our technical analysis. I want to go on the charts with you guys and go break down S&P 500 and the NAS 100 back to back on the higher time frames and see if there's any way through our technical analysis we can see what Mike Burry is seeing. So welcome back to the charts, where here we're actually going to be breaking down the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, right? So we have them both right over here separated. I only have some technicals drawn out on the higher time frames, such as the weekly and the monthly. I'm going to be going over the NASDAQ and the 100 and see any predictions that I see, right? What do my eyes tell me on the charts? Now, I just want to put out a disclaimer. I am by no means am claiming I'm a professional in these two trades. I do not trade these at all. Matter of fact, I've never traded them ever, right? But I do know that, I could day trade them if I decided to. I just don't. Also, I am very sure that these could be driven well off by fundamental analysis, right? So again, this is just me analyzing the market and see what I see and see if we can put two and two together. So what do I see on the NASDAQ right here, right? I can see that price is actually so bullish, right? If you look over here at this level over here where we were at in 2001 of September, right? We were at all-time highs around the 16,800 level right over here, right? If you look at where we're at now currently, we're currently almost there, right? We're almost at these all-time highs, right? So what do I see so far? I can see that price is very bullish, right? We had this huge push to the upside ever since we were down here in the 1100s area, right? So huge move, right? Huge trends that we're actually able to catch, right? If we take our strategy, right, we can see the higher lows being made, and then you can see the Fibonacci being in play with the 0.15 price just always took off every single time, right? Another higher high by a higher low, and we got this huge push up to almost all-time highs over here, right? Now, when I'm looking at NASDAQ and I'm looking at the S&P, they're actually very similar, right? If you guys don't know what the NASDAQ or the S&P is, basically the S&P is, I believe, the top 500 companies in the world, in the United States, right? And the NASDAQ are 100, but all technology-based driven, right? So again, just like we said earlier, Mike Burry has the collapse of both of these, right? So when you see the NASDAQ and the S&P side by side, you can actually kind of see that price action is kind of the same, just a little bit different, right? The higher lows here were more prominent in terms of market structure, right? You can see price just swiftly moving to the upside, right? And it respects levels beautifully, right? Nice area held here. You can see the wicks over here, rejection over here, rejection over here, right? So looking at the S&P and looking at the NASDAQ, they actually respect levels very, very well. So when I'm looking at the S&P or I'm looking at, the NASDAQ over here, I can tell and I can see that we're actually at all-time highs, right? So what do I see based on the weekly time frame? Well, I actually believe that this can continue to move up, right? In terms of market structure, I don't see any kind of pattern or formation that can drive us to the downside, right? We are very bullish. You go to the monthly time frame, right? And we might be bullish for a short amount of time, right? Just like any other trend, we can continue to go bearish, pull back before we go up. I believe that's what could be happening, but I actually do have maybe an idea or a thought when it comes to the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. So again, this is all in the weekly and monthly based, right? You can obviously go down to the daily time frame, right? And the daily time frame is where if I wanted to, I can come in and set positions and honestly kind of really get in day trading, right? In and out throughout the day on the S&P, right? That's going to be these time frames down here on the daily and the 4 hour, but that's not what I'm looking at. I can easily go to the 4 hour and possibly get a bearish scenario for a short-term move to the downside to the 4,000 area, but that's not what we're looking for, right? We're looking for the overall move. What is the overall trend possibly could tell us, right? What could happen in these levels right here? In the S&P and the NASDAQ, to me, actually kind of have the same exact bias. Again, if you look at the S&P, right, because I showed you on the NASDAQ, if you look at the S&P, all-time highs are over here, right, at the 4,800 level. You can see that price beautifully has a downtrend. It is broken. The first higher low to be made, and prices continues to go up. These pairs actually follow market structure beautifully. Technical analysis could have helped you predict these entire moves the entire time. Now, what do I see on the S&P and the NASDAQ, right? Well, I see that, overall, I see that we can go bullishly from here, right, on both pairs, right? Both pairs are going the same exact way, right? Same exact thing. Currently, their price action is the exact thing, right? I can come in here and tell you where I believe it can go for the next week or for the next day, right? But in terms of the overall, I just don't know. I do believe we can continue to actually keep pushing bullish. But what is my actual analysis, right? Well, my actual analysis is this for both pairs, right? You can see on the NASDAQ and you can see on the S&P that we're so bullish, right? But we're nearing these levels. And the reason why I keep mentioning these levels is that price, I believe, is going to eventually, within the next month, within the next couple of weeks, months, right, we can reach this level up here all the way at the 1600 level for NASDAQ, and for the S&P, it'll be that 4,800 level, right? I do believe that we're going to follow this huge trend all the way up to that level. Now, what's going to happen when we get down to that level? So, once we get to this level, this is a huge area of supply and demand area, right? The reason why I say this is because that last time we came up to this level, right, price dropped over 11,000, 12,000 points, right? If you look on the NASDAQ, the same exact thing happened at the supply and demand area, right? When you look at technical analysis, if you guys know that supply and demand areas are very crucial areas where that can change the tide of the market, right? When price comes to these areas, you could take those trades based off, just the supply and demand area alone, right? And I'm sure if you add fundamentals to it, you could have more confluences with it. But same on the NASDAQ. The last time we got to these all-time highs, we pushed down 60,000 points. Now, if my basic knowledge of stocks and just overall economics and foundational and fundamental news, right? If we were to reach this level and I am wrong, right, and we break through here, we're going to have to be careful because, for us to break through at all-time highs, right, that would really mean that the economy would have to be, the economy, or not even the economy, but the NASDAQ and the S&P solely would be at all-time highs, right, meaning that, the market would be in a pretty well position. Now, do I believe that that's a possibility? Yeah, for sure. I'm not a professional, honestly, don't even know. But for me, in my head, logically, with all the news that's been coming out by all the interest rates and all the hikes, right? I just don't see a point in time where we can economically be at all-time highs currently in anything, right? In the stock exchange currently, right? So for us to break through this level, is that really what's going to happen, right? Is that really what's going to happen? That would mean that the top, all those companies are going to be at their absolute peak. And if you guys don't know, right? If you guys don't know, I did do some research. The NAS 100 is being carried, or the S&P is being carried by 7 companies. The rest are actually making a negative return on the years, right? On a year-to-year basis, the top 7 companies in the NASDAQ are actually pulling the rest of the companies up. Only 7 of them, and it's the top 7. They include Amazon and they include Tesla, etc., right? So, for something that's being held up by just 7 companies out of the 100, I actually think that's going to be a little concerning. Again, I am not a professional. This is just something that I did my own research. I want to have fun with it. If you guys know anything more than I do, comment. I would love to have a debate. Not even a debate. I would love to learn more about it, right? So that's my thinking, right? That NASDAQ and the S&P 100 do have some upside potential for the short term, but I do believe that once we reach these 2 levels up here, I do believe that the market can take a huge turn, and maybe, who knows, maybe that's what Mike Burry is actually seeing right now, a huge fall all the way down to around at least 30,600, because that's where we reached last time, right? So Last time we were there was 2020, and then, you know, ever since then we just generally have been rising. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is a little something fun I wanted to do and look at the market for myself. That's my explanation. If you guys have anything to say, comment, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Deuces.